Today I am going to show you how we're going to paint our paper for our painted feathers. You're going to need a piece of paper, a pencil to write your name, some water, a big paintbrush, and 3 colors of paint. The color that you chose, white and black. So the first thing we need to do is flip this over and write our name and class code on there. And then we're going to flip back over and we're going to start painting. So I'm going to put this on my right side because I'm right-handed. So I'm going to dip my brush into the color first. Kind of get a lot on your brush. Notice it's not touching the metal though, it's just on the brush part. I'm going to start in the middle of the paper and I'm going to work my way to one of the ends. So I'm going to start here and work this way. So I'm going to do nice long brush strokes. It should go pretty quickly. I need some more paint. I'm going to get lots on there. Notice my brush stroke is going all the way from the top to the bottom of the paper. And it's going pretty quickly because I have my big brush and I'm doing nice long brush strokes. I find that it helps to stand up for this project. Then you can get more arm motion in there. So now that I've reached the end of the paper, I have half of it red. Now I'm going to dip it into the white paint. So I'm going to get, I don't know, kind of a lot of white paint on there because red is stronger than the white. It's darker than the white, so I can have a little more white on there. I'm going to start at the end, and again, nice long brush strokes. I'm going to work my way towards the middle this time, and you can see how it kind of moves from white to pink to red because I ran out of the white on my brush. Now, if you like the way it looks, you can stop there, or if you wanted to add more white to it, I can dip my brush back into the white, starting at the end again, and put some more on there. And you can see how I have more of that pink on there again. Okay, some more white. Now I never want to start in the middle. I always want to start, if I want to add more white, I want to start on the end always, and then move my way towards the middle. Now that I have the white, the lighter side done, we want to do the darker side. So I'm going to wash my brush. So remember, push it on the bottom of the container. That helps get the paint out of the bristles. Then I'm going to wipe it on the side, no tapping. Just wipe it gently on the side. Now I'm going to dip it into the red again. And I'm going to start in the middle and work my way to the other end. So again, nice long brush strokes. You can always dip it back into the paint, get some more on your brush. And again, it should go pretty quickly if you are using a good amount of paint. Again, it still hasn't touched the metal though. And nice long brush strokes. And kind of go back and fill in some of the spots that I didn't get there. All right, so now I'm to the very end again. Now I want to dip it into the black. Now for the black, I don't need as much paint. Black is a lot more powerful than really any other color. So I'm just going to dip just the tip in. And remember, you can always add more if you want it darker. So I'm going to start at the end and same thing, nice long brush strokes going towards the middle, up and down, up and down. And eventually I'll run out of that black on my brush and it'll just be red again. Just like that. Now again, if you want more, dip it just a little bit in the black. Look how little I have there. And start from the end again and add a little more in and go towards the middle until you run out. Now I'm going to wash my brush again, pushing it on the bottom, wiping it on the side. You might not get all the paint out of there, that's okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to paint a line down the middle. Now I'm going to turn my brush kind of on its side so I can get a skinnier line. I'm not going to have it flat like this. I'm going to turn it and I'm going to draw a line in the middle. And it might mix some of your paint, that's okay. Now I'm going to use my brush and I'm going to do diagonal lines like this. Notice it's going that way. So first I'm going to do diagonal lines this way. You can go from, I like to go from the middle out. I think that's easier. Diagonal lines, the middle out. Now my brush is getting kind of dry, so I'm going to dip it in the water again so I can get those lines a little better. It'll use some of the paint that's already on your paper. And it might get some lighter and darker in there, and that's okay. Some lighter and darker shades. Now I'm gonna dip my brush into the water again, and get the extra water off, and I'm gonna do diagonal lines going in the other direction, from the middle out. So when you're done, it's gonna look like a V if you look at it from that end. A little more water on my brush. I'm going to go all the way to the end. And there we go. Now I'm going to draw that middle line again just to define it a little more. And now we have more of a feather texture.